have a mic because I forgot to charge it. Welcome back to Left 4 Dead Garage. I was just going to do like a fly through once I got these last little bit things done and video the test drive, but I figured I would share the struggles, and some people may not know this is how this goes together. So here's how this goes together. So this thing has a split windshield. It's got this painter's tape is my help, because this is really a two-man job. So this painter's tape's holding on that chrome strip that runs down the middle, and it has 4 1032 threaded holes in it. Well, I'm not 100% sure if the windshield's in crooked or this thing's in crooked. I feel like maybe it's the windshield, because these kind of line up in the middle, and then this thing is under a lot of tension. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but it's a mile away down here. So the screws that fit here do not fit here or here. And I do not have, I've looked and looked, I do not have any stainless countersunk countersunk Phillips like this. So I'm gonna have to make do until I get some with these, and I'll just cut them down. But the problemo is the hole doesn't line up. So they rang these two pretty good. I don't know if you can see in there, my light's doing the crazy dance. So those are rung pretty good. This one is not. Should have videoed when I had the chrome off. The holes are punched crooked, so I have to try to carefully go in there with the small drill, like a 1/4 inch drill, and give me some relief so I can try to put this together. And the reason I'm messing with all this is I went to Dave's Truck Parts this morning, and I picked up a rear view mirror and the tab that holds the mirror on, and then we'll try to get the rear view done, and then I'm gonna jump to the doors. She brought carpet. She brought some carpet, and we'll jump into that. So I got to pull the seats back out, and then I'll try to figure out how in the world to put that e-brake boot on. It did not look very simple to me in the beginning, so we're going to try it. Also, small things like get the dome light to work, tidy up these wires that aren't needed at the moment. That's a, but I do need this. I need to wire the wipers up. Dang it, I knew I forgot something. Wiper blades. Dadgummit. I ran off and left my list. Got to Dave's, realized I didn't have my list, so I don't have wiper blades. I may just have to order some. There's 2 different kinds. That's why I was gonna ask when I got there. Dang it, I even took a picture of the wiper arm. But yeah, I gotta wire the wiper up, and then this other is like a 12-volt supply, and then a radio ignition, I believe. Yeah, CB and or radio. I'll just tidy those up because we don't need either one of those at the moment, unless she wants me to put like a charge port in this thing, which would probably be handy. Yeah, we'll try to get this sorted out. I may actually have to call some help and get some hands to hold that thing a little tighter than that tape, but let's see what I can do with it. All right, so I had to back up and punt here. The gasket needs to come to the driver's side some, because if you get out here and look at it, and dang, I just remembered something else I didn't get. The seal for this guy, because last time I sprayed it off, I ended up watering the truck, and I felt like it was this thing's, the reason was because this thing didn't have a seal. But I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the glass is barely in that seal. Look at that. And then looking at it this way, it's like it's not centered. It's leaning toward the passenger side, and from the passenger side you could look in here and the glass is way up in this gasket. So I gotta try to, I don't know, if you look at the center of the truck, it doesn't really line up either. So I gotta try to pull this gasket, which may not be possible, and then it doesn't really fit in the channel here like it does on the passenger side. See, it fits well here, and then if you're looking, I mean, it's super hard to tell, I imagine, on the camera, but the gasket needs to go that way, or the windshield seal rather. So let me see if I can kind of pull it best I can and walk it this way, and maybe pull on it like this and try to get me some slack and get it moved over, because and you can see where it gives you like a little perforated hole where to go through at, but it's way down here. It's not really the alignment that worries me, it's the fact it may leak, or it does leak, it will leak. But then the other thing that worries me is breaking the windshield. So yeah, I really don't want to break this windshield. I'd rather not have to buy one or pay somebody to install it. So I'll be real careful with this and just give it the best shot I can and try to get this thing scooched over, and that thing will seal up a little bit. Wish me luck. An hour and 45 minutes to hang a rear view mirror. That is a giant pain if you have to do that without some help, because you need somebody pushing on the back side. And then I went to tighten up all this inner molding. It's got the defrost vents, and those screws are just small enough to where if you get them tight, they will pull smooth through the garnish molding, or whatever you want to call that. So I'm gonna go in here and see if I can find some screws just a touch bigger and get this stuff snugged back up. But it does have a rear view. Check that off the list. Now I'm gonna fix what I didn't plan to fix, and maybe straighten the steering wheel up. It may not be 100%, but I may wait to do that when I drive, the day I drive it. I can get it out in the road, get it loose, pull it off and put it back on, tighten it up. I don't know. Let me find some screws, fix this, and we'll move on to the next thing. All right, I got the garnish molding. That's what I'm going to call it, because that's what it's called in a 55 Chevrolet car. I got that in there, kind of setting up. I'll explain how I did it. I took 2 instructions and put them together. So I feel like maybe the best of both worlds. Let's see. So there is like a rubber that runs in that channel. You see that little gap right here? So there's a wiper, actually that's what it's called, that runs in that channel. And it's this guy right here. It's got a little, looks like kind of like a T. See that? So what you do is you start in the middle. Now this is not something I just know. This is something I actually had to research, but I'm sharing it with you. So you start on one side, go to the left, and then you go the other way. There will probably be a little hump in the middle, little crease or whatever. I don't have a good way of hanging you to show you this, but you'll just have to keep working it. And that guy had a weather strip tool. I do not. I got some door panel tools that are like a nylon. Hopefully it won't hurt it. And then I took spray silicone, and I just sprayed that channel in here in hopes that it'll help that rubber slide. And then I'll show you the garnish molding, and then we'll have to put the run felt or whatever it's called, the channel maybe, in right here, because it was in the absolute wrong spot. I don't think I covered this, but for some reason the channel, seal, felt, whatever, was crammed in here, and that's not where it goes. It goes right here, and the garnish molding covers up this gap, and it kind of pinches into it. Here's what was in there. You can see how mangled it was, and they had it crammed into that hole. You see all these holes. I don't understand, maybe it just didn't line up or something, but it was crammed in there, and the window just wasn't in the channel. So I'm gonna get this wiper in there, and then we'll start working with the actual run channel, whatever it's called. So, all right, this will kind of give you an idea of what I was talking about. So I got this channel ran to the right. I would suggest going to the right first. Let it tuck up behind here a little bit. It kind of holds it, helps it stand up, you know what I mean? And then you'll have to trim it, just kind of eyeball it, trim it off, and then work this way with what you got, you know, get the slack out of it, and then try to help the other side to the right. And then I've just been taking this. A molding tool would probably be a little more stiff, and also the video I watched, they removed the door glass, but I am not about to remove the door glass for this. And then I just kind of work that in there, down in that channel, all the way across on both sides. And you'll have the outside wiper in, and I would imagine my inside felt is probably set up enough. Well, we got to do that channel, so let me finish this and we'll start working on the channel. The channel's something you also have to trim as well, so let me get this little bit in and we'll get the channel out. All right, I got this channel in. I did not trim it, I just let it run the full length. I figured the more that's in there, the more stable the window would be. I did, however, take a little tiny 90 thousandths drill, put a little hole there, and use one of these little stainless screws. And that way it held it there. I'm not going to put any more in it unless it needs it, because I'm hoping, I mean, if anything, it may need one right here in the corner to hold it, but every time I push it up there, it wants to droop here. So, but the outside deal is kind of hanging down far. Maybe I can get a little more, maybe I can crank that a little bit more. But yeah, hopefully my inside, my felt wiper or whatever, is dry and ready to go. And let's see if we can't manage to install that. They had these old crap zinc plated screws. I don't know if I have any nice stainless ones, but I'll look. And like this, that's just not good. It's gonna break through. Even a number 10 screw, I think I have some 10s right here, is not gonna work out. So they need to be long to go inside this deal here, because that's, you can see where it should have went, and it went through the door. There's a couple holes right there, but I also have to put the bolts back in this little wing window. But let me grab some parts and see if we can keep going here. All right, still no mic, so there's probably some background racket from these fans, but I won't be in here but a second. All right, this is that inner trim here, whatever I called it, I didn't forgot. Anyway, so one video showed putting a tiny screw here, and then using black 3M weather strip. These are stapled on, kind of, sort of, not like a regular staple gun. It's these little deals here. They're actually got a few holes already in them for the staples. I used a couple, but I went ahead and drilled some of my own holes. And then if you have to drill through it, heat this up, something like a punch or alignment tool or something, get it good and hot, and then go through that felt in that plastic or whatever, so the drill doesn't try to rip the felt out of there. And then behind it, I've never used this Permatex super weather strip. I always use 3M, but I could not find any 3M this morning, so that's what I got. This thing's been clamped for a little while, so I'm going to try to get this in there, get that on the truck, and hopefully this alone will hold that channel deal in there, and we won't have to worry about it moving around. If I have to put some screws in, then I will. So let's get this. You don't have to use these kind of vice grips. You can use a little C-clamp, I guess, or regular vice grips or something. The video I seen had panel clamps. I don't have any panel clamps, so this is what I got. I may have some stainless screws. I'll have to look. I have to be careful though, because I don't want to get them too long and then go too far and hit the inside of the outside of the door. Maybe I can stick you somewhere and we can try to get this on there. You might be able to see what I'm doing. So I got these tightened up. Actually, you know what? About messed up. Get a little head. Put the screws back in this thing. Some of these screw holes are on the ragged edge of tightening up. I don't have anything bigger than a 10, so this one needs to be swapped out for a short one. Alright. Let's see if we can get this thing in there. So this screw lines up. There's some longer stainless ones. If they'll fit, then I'll just cut them off. The hole seems a little ragged. I don't think a 10. That's not a 10. I don't have any stainless number 10 screws, but I believe I'll get on Amazon right here in a minute and get some ordered, because see, that bit should be flush. I don't think that looks right. I don't know if I got the right. This is what they were using. It wasn't a flush type screw. It was like a panhead kind of deal. What I may do is just get a few screws in it and flashlight. Those smaller screw holes rather, probably work with these. This size, I don't know what size this is. That'll work right there if I can get it to work everywhere else. I don't want to go too far with that one because the glass is in there. See if it'll grab right here. Seems like it. I'm not going to go full snug with it just yet. I'm going to get these others sorted out too. Feels like those will tighten up. I swear every time I turn around, I feel like I don't have the right hardware. I guess it's just one of those things where you just, when you need it, you buy more than you need. That way you'll have it for next time. I see the hole in there, I just can't. This is where they drilled through the corner of that door frame, so the door frame is kind of blocking my way. Might be it right there. All right, so got 4 more to go. This one, on the other hand, this one's a little off. I'll have to wait on that one. This one lines up, that one lines up, and then this one does as well. Most of all these have got double holes where they've, looks like they've re-drilled stuff. Somebody, I mean, the truck as old as this, you just never know. That looks different. These really weren't the right screws, but they're pretty close. Let's see if this window rolls up. Looks like it's got the felt pretty well stuck in there. Look at that. Nice tight window. I don't know what the banjo sound is. That's new, but what about the vent window? Does it work? Nice and tight and snug. I kind of want to put a screw in this just to make sure, but it sure fits, like, you know, fits pretty tight. All right, so that's a win. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. I'll get a short stainless screw for this guy right here. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's no hole visible. There is, but it's way down there. So nothing straight ahead. Just has to be short because run into that. So, like I said, I'm gonna jump on the other side. Got to get some of it took apart and do the same old thing. So, get back to you.
Competition Products, your source for hardcore engine parts for street, strip, and oval track. Our free catalog is packed with hundreds of product lines from the best-known manufacturers in the performance industry. Lowest prices guaranteed. Free shipping and handling on all orders over $149 in the continental U.S. Need expert advice? Our knowledgeable staff is just a phone call away. Competition Products, race parts sold by racers since 1970.
Alrighty, the day has come. This video might be out of order, but it's okay. So I've put, I think, 70 miles on the pink truck. Yesterday I got it out, put about 40 miles on it, and that's the most I've done. I rode it to my lodge meeting Monday evening. So that's the furthest it'd been from home, and that's about 4 miles. Yesterday we just got out country road, and it did pretty well. Still have an issue with the brake light staying on. Sort that out tomorrow evening. But today, riding to Dave's Truck Parts, getting the last few things I need that I'm pretty sure I need. That I ran off and left. Well, I lost my list when I went up there last weekend, but I need wiper blades, I need a cow vent seal, and I done forgot what the other thing was. I wrote it down. Hood spring, the release spring. I hope they got the little washer too, because nobody seems to show that. I don't necessarily know if she has these. I don't believe she does. So I'm gonna see if they have those covers, and I believe that's all we need. So fingers crossed. It's 47 miles one way. I got Chris riding with me, so that's the smartest thing to do, is have your help ride with you. That way they can't come get you if something happens. So we'll have to call in somebody else. Which are probably Charlie, and Charlie's trailer's in Pageland, South Carolina, so that means he has to come all the way to here to get my trailer to come get us when and if something happens. So we'll get Pinky started up. Chris is on his way. It's a little after 3 now. Hopefully we'll make it in an hour. They close at 5:30, but this will be its biggest test drive. Actually, I kind of feel like I'm robbing the owner because I'm getting to drive it first. It's a weird feeling. I can't explain it. You may know what I'm talking about. It's just an odd feeling to me because I seen mile 1 flip over on the odometer. Speaking of, okay, 77 miles is what total. So 7 or 8 or 10 was just in the neighborhood to Ingalls to get gas, which is only 2 miles round trip. But yeah. All right. Wish us luck. A little loud in here, but broke the 100-mile mark. Running 70. Everything's looking good. Got about what? 30 more minutes to go?
Yeah, at least.
Hopefully we'll get there. All right, well, I'm gonna hold this mic. We made it to Dave's. We're eating it. Well, we ate at some place, so we'll just leave the name out of this. But heading back home, 127 miles on it now. Everything went well on the way up here. We'll probably run back roads on the way home and just shake it down a little bit more. And all goes well. It looks like it's headed to the house. To its house. Okie dokie. On the final stretch here, I've been piddling with it. Not videoed everything. Probably just gonna do show you what I've done, what's left, and drive it over there and deliver this thing. So what I got left, the horn is a no-go. I have power to the plug, but when all that, I don't know if you remember, if you've watched this whole series, the steering wheel was not completely attached to the steering column, and it got spun around there and pulled the wires out. I have power into the column. I do not have power at the actual horn button because that thing is supposed to ground, trip the relay, blow the horn. Steering wheel is on straighter than it was. An alignment will dial that in perfectly. Vent seal at the cowl, I had to pull the whole cowl, or the whole vent out of the cowl, get the seal in here, and I've got a few dabs of weather strip and like here, and here in the corners and such. I'm letting that settle. I was going to put the wiper arms on, but I've ran into an issue here. I'm not sure if these are the wrong wiper arms, or maybe they're just manufactured poorly, because hopefully you can see the lack of splines in there, and I was kind of hoping it would still like pick up on a spline. You can see how fine this one is. In no way, shape, or form can I get these things to go on there, and I don't want to be aggressive because, well, you know, that'll tear something up. So I guess we'll just have to look at another set of wiper arms or investigate it or something. Maybe this wiper assembly came with arms and those aren't the correct ones for this wiper assembly. What else? Need to work on that clutch return spring, or I mean the brake return spring, and the switch. The brake lights still want to kind of stay on a little bit. I want to adjust the clutch. After driving it a little bit, it feels like I can get a little more pedal out of it, and needs more pedal. I need to adjust the choke. It was funny, like after you drive it for a while, you come to a red light, it would stay idled up. You could just tap the throttle, choke would drop back out of the program. Need to work on that a little bit. Round up all our leftovers. Got some bed bolts that I need. I actually have to have some help on this one because I just can't reach them. And I actually had to buy a set of bits for this because this thing has those clutch head screws. And as you can see, that one's self-ejected, but it's laying right there. Get somebody to hold the socket while I get under there and tighten up the nut, because I don't want these to spin because it may knock the paint off. I don't know if I covered it or not, but it's got a gas tank vent now. It runs, you can't see it. Pulled this whole thing out, drilled and tapped it, 1/8 pipe. It's got 1/4 inch line, run it over. I put a fuel filter in this region. That way it'll filter any, you know, if it's wanting to pull wind in, it'll filter the wind. And then it's got, probably can't see it, but up in there, it's got a rollover and vent valve. So need to clean the windows. I got a rattle in that door over there I can't find. Chris really couldn't pinpoint it going down the road. Not sure what that is. It may be the run channel since it's long. Probably go through this hole. Tried to find these panels yesterday at Dave's. He only had one, but I figured I'll just wait, check with her to see if she has them. If not, we'll find somewhere to get both of them at the same time. But unfortunately they would be black, not this pink color. So, but like I was saying, this run channel is long. I could probably reach in right here and snip it off, if that's what the noise is, but I'm not 100% sure. Got a hood rattle. I mean, other than that, it does, I mean, that's really not anything to complain about. It's gonna rattle. It's just something that's probably either eventually find or just live with. The geometry of this throttle, I'm not a fan of it. I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to let her drive it, see how she feels about it, and then come back and we'll see if we can take and grind a little bit off the back side of this pedal and then pull this thing off because it's clockable, and try to drop the pedal down because it seems a little high. I don't know, it may just be my personal preference. I don't know. The actual layout of the clutch and the brake, I was concerned about that way back when. It's actually okay. The shifter is a little close to your leg, but honestly, it's okay. I'll also need to try to fasten this raggedy old shift boot down. Probably just need to get another one, something that's a little closer to this fit, but because I hate to drill holes in this thing unnecessarily. But you know, it's just the small things left. And today's Thursday. I am dead set on delivering this truck tomorrow. So let me jump back off this thing and knock out a few more items while I'm letting this weather strip dry. I'll give it a fair shot before I start fiddling with it again. And the door latch, that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna jump on next. I need to modify. I believe if I go in here with the little mini belt sander and I take just a little off this back side in here, that the door, take just a little off this back side, I believe that the door wouldn't be so ill to shut. And it's so ill to shut that sometimes you can't get out with this handle because it's like it's got it in a bind or something. I don't know. Small quirky things that we'll just have to work out. It's got 100, how many miles is on it? 170. So at 500, I'd like to see her bring it back, do an oil change, put it back in the air, and just nut and bolt everything. But I'm gonna jump on this door latch and see if we can't keep knocking this stuff out and get it done. All right, taking Pinky home. Stopped and got a little gas. Just a reminder that gas gauge is backwards. Because if it's on full, you're gonna be walking. Maybe we'll address that later. I tell you what, I ain't never in my life drove something that so many people pulled out in front of. I don't know if it's because I'm paranoid or because they're shock and awe of the color or what, but on the way to Dave's, we probably had 6 or 8 like close calls, like unreal, like people just not paying attention or something. I don't know. And I've had 2 today. It's crazy. That's one reason I don't like riding the motorcycle. All right, we'll put this camera down. We're gonna hit the old 74 out here and run it on to her house. All right, I tried to do like a scenic drive delivering Pinky, and I stuck the camera to the back wall of the truck, and all I got a good view of was about this much
blue sky, and the rest dash in my right arm. So, so much for that cinematic piece. But Pinky's home. Unfortunately, it's developed an oil pan leak, and it's leaking somewhere on the rack. I rode by there yesterday, checked the plumbing, or the fittings rather. Everything seemed pretty tight. The oil pan drain plug was tight. It looks like it's coming from the top side of the passenger side of the pan, so it has to be pan gasket, I'm guessing. The clutch pedal has always been firm, pretty firm. Like my Tacoma here has a hydraulic clutch and it's butter soft. So I did a bunch of reading, and it's to the point where it's not really very comfortable for her to drive. So I did a bunch of reading and whatnot last night, and it looks like, and actually this is the opposite of what my brain was thinking. I don't know what the ratio is on that clutch pedal master cylinder deal I put under that truck, and I don't know what the bore is for sure. I went back and found an eBay post of the same thing, and it said it did have a 1 inch. It had a 1 inch bore on the clutch master. It also said the master cylinder was a 1 inch bore, but it's not. It's 1 1/8 inches. So I don't know how much you can trust this. But if you go, since there's no way I can change the ratio on the pedal, where it mounts, where it swings, and all that, according to the video, this could be a 1-to-1 ratio clutch, which would make the pedal rock hard because you have no mechanical advantage over the 1 inch travel that the master cylinder is doing to push the 1 inch of travel of the slave. So the only thing I can do, or attempt to do, is change the master cylinder, clutch master, which I thought maybe go to a bigger one, but since you can't do a mechanical advantage according to this stuff I've read, you have to go for a hydraulic advantage. And it said drop master cylinder down in size, but have one where increased stroke is required. So I found a Wheelwood 3/4 bore with an 1.250 inch stroke. So if it takes an 1.250 inch stroke on the master to push the slave 1 inch, then there's some math involved in some sort of ratio. But the way the guy explained it, it would make a difference. Now I don't know if this 1.25 inch, I think he went for like 1.5 inches. I did not find anything with that much travel in the master. So, but he was saying 100 pounds of force. Matter of fact, I'll just put that video that I found in the description of this video, and he can explain it correctly. But that's the only thing I can think of, is try to swap out the master. I believe she's going to be good to go until next weekend. Hopefully the weather holds off, and I can try to get it back in here. I'm about to do a shuffle of junk, kicking my car out. It's going to storage, and I got some things changing. So I'll try not to do a packed house. That way when she's ready to bring it, I can jump on it. But it is home, it is driving. It's gonna have its quirks. I know that, I mean, I sent it home with some stuff that I couldn't really take care of, like that hood latch situation. I don't really know how to make that any better, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll give it a shot again when it comes back, I don't know. But hopefully she can just drive it and make a list of all the stuff that she doesn't like so far, other than the clutch pedal. Oh, and the door latches. I mean, the driver's side door latch in this video, I fiddled with it, could not make it any better. It shuts fairly easy, not fairly. It shuts better out from the outside of the truck than it does the inside of the truck. You about have to use 2 hands to get it to fully latch. Bear claw latches seem to be the way to go for that. But I don't know, it's one of those things. It's only got 200 miles on it. New things will happen. That's just, honestly, that's hot rods. So thanks for watching Left 4 Dead Garage. We will see you on the next one.